Hey people, welcome to the channel, and in this case it's gonna be a video about the 3 ships you should have in Star Citizen. Very common question. Someone starts playing, what is it that I should be buying? And this is gonna be the top 3 recommendations. And I'm doing this because it surprised me. The other day I was playing and someone was asking, making his first steps in the game, buying a first ship, a little bit of money here and there. What should I buy, right? After my starter ship, what should I buy? And I reply with 3 ships, and was not 1 second after that someone else replied with the exact same ships, the exact same 3 ships you should be looking forward to, you should be grinding towards. It's funny how people often think the same way. Not 1, not 2, 3 exact same ships. Anyway, what you see me flying here is another ship you probably should consider. So this is going to be an early bonus recommendation. This is the Origin 85X, a ship you don't see a whole lot of. There it is, 85X. You have decent visibility once you move around some. It's just a 2-seater. It's a very tiny ship. Hasn't got any internal space, so you're not standing in there. You have a little bit of storage, but you have 4 size 1 weapons, and this is the only ship, as far as I know, this is the only ship that you can claim instantly. It has I think under a minute, but as far as I know, and let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong, this is the only ship that once you claim it, you can pay a little bit more and instantly claim it right then and there. You still have a tiny quantum drive, so it will take a while, but with an Atlas you'll get around. And I actually used this ship just moments ago for grinding a little bit of moderate beacons. It does perfectly well for that with those 4 size 1 laser repeaters. Let me land here and let's get into the 3 ships everyone should look forward when playing Star Citizen. Now, my advice as the first step up from your starter ship that is available so as to buy in-game, and most people will give the same advice, you're going with the CDY Black. It's gonna be 1.3 mil, a little bit above, a little bit over 1.3 mil in Hurston, available in Lorville. CDY Black is clearly one of the best ways to go. You're looking at a bit of a larger ship. You're looking at a ship that has quantum drive, size 2 quantum drive, which allows you to travel a little bit faster. You will have to upgrade that, but yes, you will be saving quite a bit of time when quantum driving compared to your starter ship. This ship also has 4 size 4 hardpoints for repeaters, lasers, or ballistics, whatever you want to get in this thing, and the stock weapons are fine, so as to do a little bit of better combat compared to your starter ship. Now, this is also your introduction to a bit of multiplayer, giving that you can have a friend in that turret there operating those Panther repeaters. That's going to be doing nicely for your combat. You also have a tractor beam, as you see there on the back, which allows you to load up that cargo nicely. Let's go have a bit of a tour of the inside. Lots of screens for everything that you see, and decent visibility and handling. It's a pretty agile ship. Doesn't look the part, but it just handles fine. For gun racks, this is a little bit of an older ship, so you don't have anything for pistols and handguns. You do have storage that everyone can access here, and this makes it handy for when you're playing with other people, when you have a group. There we have the access to our turret. There's no bathroom here, so you'll have to figure that one out on your own. But then you have the nice cargo area. There's going to be 46 SCU of cargo at your disposal. It allows you to do a few cargo runs. Probably drugs is going to be the thing that's more profitable. But again, when you're doing a little bit of multiplayer, this is a fine ship for that. You have 6 seats for other players, so everyone can be seated. You have, of course, the extra seat there in the turret up front, and then you have for a co-pilot that can sit here along with you. So again, with a bunch of people, you can all hang out in your CDY Black. Two beds so as to log out comfortably, and then a nice ramp so as to quickly access and throwing a vehicle here. Of course, you can fit a rock miner. So this is so often recommended because it just opens a bunch of different options. You have the ramp that allows you to load up a vehicle, or as I mentioned, the rock miner, VTOL engines, which allows you to change directions pretty fast. So all in all, a very agile, general purpose ship. You know, if you have a little bit of cargo to run, if you want to do a bit of combat, all of that, the CDY Black is fantastic for it all. You have these doors here on the side, which it used to be the case that you could not jump inside through them, but now you can do that pretty easily. And this gives you a bit more access points for when you have to go in and out of the ship in a bit of a hurry. Believe me, you will find yourself in occasions where the ship fell through a cliff or was blown by the wind or whatnot, and having this open area so as to just get people in and out of the ship so quickly, it just saves the day more often than you would imagine. Controls are all working. There's nothing at this moment that is glitched. That may change at any time, but so far so good. The ramp closes pretty fast and opens fast as well. It is a fine ship. It is definitely a nice step up from your basic starter. Yeah, it has the Skull and Bones custom paint, but basically that's your cutter. That's not your cutter. Basically, that's your CDY Black, one of the most beloved ships in Star Citizen. And stepping things up a notch, we have the Constellation Towers. This is my second recommendation past your CDY Black. When you're looking at, yeah, I want to have a big boy ship. I want to have a large ship that does things that the smaller ones cannot. You still have your size 2 quantum drive, meaning you're going to be going pretty fast with this thing, and that makes it a lot more convenient. But besides that, and this is the variant that is a little bit less common than the Connie Andromeda. The Constellation Andromeda has been around for a long time. A fan favorite in Star Citizen, but this one is honestly better. Now, you're sacrificing the snub fighter that's going to be there on the back on the Andromeda, but you have this, a lot more cargo capacity. You have the button there so as to lower that elevator, and here you're looking at 174 SCU of cargo. That is decent cargo. That is allowing you to do some nice runs, making some money, having fun. It also goes along very well with a fantastic tractor beam that you can operate from the inside, which that is a kind of new. It wasn't there functioning before. You have some doors there to go out into space if you want to have that, but you also have the elevator there on the front, which makes it a lot faster, and you can of course access it through that elevator for the cargo. Now you're looking at a ship that also has a size 3 shield, and it has 2 size 5 hardpoints, as you see there on the back. I have the Omnisky size 5 laser cannons. That is my recommendation. Go with that. It is definitely the way to go. Now in theory you have 4 size 5 hardpoints, but in practicality you have 2 of those with a fixed gimbal, so effectively those are size 4 hardpoints for any practical use, and that is where I would recommend going with ballistics, right? Here you see that I have the Omniskys, and then I have 84B ballistics. Why? Well, because with those 2 size 5 laser cannons, I can deal with a hammerhead just fine. If I need a little bit more firepower, you have the 84B ballistics. That gives you a little bit more punch, but with the laser cannons, honestly, you should be just fine as long as you keep that distance. But if you ever need a little bit more firepower, there it goes. The Taurus also has a nice amount of missiles, which now I have loaded with rattlers. You use those every once in a while if you want. It's a little bit cluttered. Some people don't like that, but I find it just fine. I have screens and I have little monitors for everything that I need. And as it is, yeah, maybe you want to customize some of these a little bit more. So you go here in menu and you set these for your, maybe your targets. Don't have anything loaded up right now, and you can just customize these any way you want. Now, in terms of visibility with that metal, I mean, not a big deal. Let's go now and look at what we have in terms of the interior of the ship. It's not as fancy as some of the newer ones, but again, you have the tractor beam, you have a turret here, you have a bit of living area with some seating space there, some storage you can open up. It's nothing impressive or anything, but yeah, the bathroom there, which is a little bit sketchy, but it is there. You have 2 racks for rifles. Again, older ship. You don't have the newer ones with room for handguns and so on. No, just a couple of rifles, that's it, and 4 beds. These are quite nice. I think they look comfy and they're good enough just to log out and go about your business. Here you have the dedicated storage area with that elevator that goes down. You can access the ship through there. And here in the back, instead of having a snuff fighter, you have this it's like a shielded cargo area for contraband. At least that's in theory what it should be used for, but so far not something that is in game as of this moment. But this is basically your Constellation Towers, a fantastic ship that you definitely should consider as a very solid upgrade from your CDY Black. Again, here, doors on the side, and you can just jump into space if you have the need for that, or just exit if everything is going to hell. The Constellation Towers is available in New Deal in Hurston for a little bit over 3 mil, 3.2 mil. You can get yourself the Constellation Towers, which is a fine ship. Now, final ship in the list, the best ship in the list, yours for a little bit under 5 mil, available both in Astra Armada in Area 18, as well as Horizon in the Crusader showroom. That's gonna be the Hercules C2 Starlifter. This is the one you want. This is the best ship in game, simply because it does most of the viable game loops the best. This is the best ship for running cargo. Yeah, you have the hull series, but given the way storage works right now, you cannot move those boxes as you can do here. You have 696 SCU of cargo. You're gonna be making money with this baby. You're gonna be moving a lot of cargo, and you can do a lot of pirating as well. For a ship this big, it handles very nicely. You have a couple turrets for friends if you want to have them come along. And don't make the mistake of getting the M2 thinking that, oh, it's the military version. No, this is the one you want. This is a large ship with size 3 quantum drive. You have 2 size 3 shields, which makes it great for combat. So it's not just the best ship for running cargo. It's one of the best ships for PvE, for going at those high combat beacon missions, the ones that pay 250, 260k, and you can do those all day long. Now, you only have 2 size 5 hardpoints, which I recommend getting, again, laser cannons. Some people load ballistics here. Don't do that. Don't go with 80 ballistics. Really makes no sense. With the laser cannons and those 2 size 3 shields, you will deal with hammerheads as if they're not even there. It's just a couple more seconds and you're sparing yourself the trouble of having to reload your guns, or even worse, being left with no ammunition at the worst possible time. Size 5 laser cannons, they are a lot more powerful than size 4 laser cannons. It's not proportional, and you will do very nicely with these. And if you want to have a couple friends tag along, they can use those turrets. Visibility is not fantastic, but it is okay. Now, on the other hand, one of the things, let me show you that a little bit better, one of the negative things about the C2 it is a little bit of a balancing act. You have to get used to landing this thing because, as you can see, those landing yeah, that is very close one to the other, as you can see there, and it usually is a balancing act, and it usually falls forward, which is something you have to get used to. It is a large ship, but again, surprisingly agile for its size. Let's do a little bit of a tour, show you what we're dealing with here. Another disadvantage is that it's a little bit of a hike getting into the ship. You have to take the elevator and then go through that long nose. You have a bit of storage here, so you can keep like a weapon or something in there just in case. You have a bit of room here for your components and stuff. Let's open that up there. You know, eventually something will go in there. Here you have the escape pods, and you have couple gun racks, actually two of those, one in front of the other, for a few long guns and some handguns, which, yeah, that's nice, that's convenient. As I said before, you have to go through all of this long neck to finally reach the elevator. Here on the right side of the ship we have our habitation, we have our beds. I have a couple beds there, as well as the toilets. On the other side, we have the recreation room, where you can have some food storage too. Let's open this up. So the table there for eating. This is not really working right now. You can't open the fridge. Hopefully one day we will. So far, nothing. We have our TV, again not working, but this is a recreation area. And here there's more components, the engine of the ship and so on, which is a cool visual effect. Now you can use the elevator, or you can take that little ladder there on the side. Let's go with the elevator instead. Takes a second, takes a little bit of time, and this elevator goes straight down, so you can actually exit the ship through the elevator. This time let's just go low to the lower deck and show you what we have here in terms of the storage area. Super big, large. This is the big advantage of your C2. Again, don't go with the M2. You're going to be losing some of that precious cargo capacity, and this is a cargo running ship, so there's no point in sacrificing that. You can open it both on the front with a ramp and on the back. There's also the A2 variant, which has a decent amount of cargo capacity, but it's sacrificing a lot of it for those large bombs. And it's only useful for that. There's really not much of a gameplay or game loop of dropping large bombs, but if that's your thing, maybe consider the A2. But again, we're looking at the most versatile, the best ships you have in Star Citizen as of right now, and these would be the ones. You're starting with your CDY Black, your first step. Constellation Towers, it's a fantastic ship as well, but this one is the one you want to get, the C2. Great for combat, great for running cargo, great for flying around even though it's large, so it's not gonna be as handy, it's not as nimble as a small little ship, but man, it is a beast that does most of the things you wanna do in Star Citizen. Guys, that's basically it. Those are my recommendations, and I know I'm not alone here. A lot of people will basically recommend you the same 3 ships. Remember that if you want to play Star Citizen, you have the link there below in the description of the video. You can go into Robert Space Industries, use the referral code. It will give you a little bit more money if you start playing, and that will be appreciated. See you next time, guys.